I still remember that night like it just happened. The smell of expensive wine in the air. Chandeliers glowing so bright they made the silverware sparkle like ice. I'd been running the floor at Marlowe House for 5 years, a place so exclusive most folks never even see the inside. Governors, CEOs, movie stars, they all came through our doors. And me, I was the black kid from the wrong side of Memphis, who'd hustled through dish pits and back kitchens to end up managing the most powerful dining room in the state. Every night I told myself, keep it steady, keep it perfect, no drama. But that night, perfection didn't just crack, it splintered. He came in wearing a police uniform, nameplate, gleaming eyes already mean. Detective Ryan McCord, Northside Precinct. I'd heard the name in whispers, stop and frisk King, the guy who barked slurs at traffic stops. But seeing him walk into my dining room with a badge on his chest and a baton at his side felt surreal, like two worlds colliding. He dropped into a chair at table 5, looked around like he owned the place, and banged his stick against the walnut surface. Hey, he barked, let's move it. I don't wait. I sent a server over, hoping to smooth things out. We were in the weeds, the kitchen, working a banquet for state senators in the back room. McCord ordered a steak extra rare and a cold beer. We promised it'd be quick, but 15 minutes later, he was still tapping that baton, and the people at nearby tables were starting to stare. He leaned back and muttered loud enough for the room to hear figures. Black guy running the place. Everything slows down. I felt the blood drain from my face. I walked over, kept my voice even. Detective, the kitchen's just wrapping up your order. Give us 2 minutes. He spat the words back at me. Shut up! You don't tell me what to do. I'm the law here. He raised that baton and bam, drove it straight into the table. The crack echoed across the dining room. Wine glasses toppled. A woman gasped. Phones came out. For a heartbeat, the whole room froze under the rain of walnut splinters. Inside me, something cracked too, but not like that table. More like a seam finally giving way after years of swallowing every insult, every little smirk. My dad's voice floated back from long ago. He was an army cook who used to tell me, you can't stop people from hating you, but you can hold on to your dignity. I straightened my back. Detective, I said, soft but firm, put the baton down. Your meal's on its way. This is Marlowe House. We treat everyone with respect. He stepped closer, breath thick with beer, pressing the baton against my chest. What's your name again? Malik Marcus. Doesn't matter. Guys like you should be mopping floors, not running a joint like this. I heard murmurs ripple through the room. A woman at a nearby table said, Sir, please stop. He's just doing his job. McCord spun on her. Shut your mouth. Nobody asked you. Cameras caught everything, little red lights blinking like warning signals. I locked eyes with my staff across the room. They were frozen between fear and fury. I said it louder, clearer this time. Here, detective, the law is the law. You can't threaten my staff or our guests. My voice surprised even me, steady, not shaking. He sneered and smashed the rest of the table in half. Walnut shards Bordeaux dripping like blood across the marble floor. That's when I saw the look on the face of one of the VIPs at the corner table. He was a state legislator, a regular. He picked up his phone and started calling someone, and I had a hunch who. See, the secret about Marlowe House was that it wasn't just a restaurant. It was the governor's living room, officially owned by a shell company, but everyone in the inner circle knew it belonged to Governor Lauren Whitfield. She used it to court donors, negotiate bills, throw quiet fundraisers. And I'd been chosen to run it because I knew how to keep things polished and private. That night, McCord didn't just smash a table, he smashed the governor's table. By morning, the clip was everywhere. Hashtags, hashtag justice for Malik, Shard badge, and baton trending at the top. Millions of views, outrage pouring in. Friends I hadn't heard from in years were texting. Reporters parked outside my apartment. But the call that made my hands tremble came from a block number. This is the governor's office, a woman said. We're aware of what happened. The governor stands with you. Meanwhile, the police union held a press conference. Their president called McCord a model officer, said the video was taken out of context. People booed outside the building, holding signs. No one is above the law and racist policing. Inside, Captain Rosa Velasquez opened McCord's file, 11 prior complaints, all closed. This time she knew she couldn't bury it. A civil rights lawyer named Anita Delgado called me. Malik, she said, you have a rock-solid case. This isn't just property damage. This is racism in uniform. We can fight this. I stared at my hands, still smelling like bleach and coffee from years in kitchens. I never wanted to be famous this way, I muttered. She leaned forward, eyes fierce. Sometimes justice finds us. Are you ready to stand? I said yes. Not because I was brave, because silence would have meant more guys like McCord doing this to more people like me. The day of the hearing felt like stepping onto another planet. The courthouse still swarmed with cameras, protesters, counter-protesters. Inside oak paneling and cold marble floors, yet the air buzzed like an electric wire. I sat next to Anita wearing my only Navy suit. Across the aisle, McCord slouched in a gray suit, eyes darting like a cornered animal. When Anita played the clip on the courtroom screen, the sound of that table cracking filled the chamber. People winced. McCord's own words, "Black guy running the place," boomed from the speakers. Then witnesses came up, a state senator, a businesswoman, even a teenage server from our staff. One by one, they told the same story, the baton, the slurs, the threats. Each testimony tightened the vice. McCord's lawyer tried the usual spin. He was under stress. He didn't mean it racially. Anita raised an eyebrow. And what about the words themselves, the lawyer stammered. McCord's jaw clenched, his face turning red. Finally, he snapped, standing up, shouting across the courtroom. I put my life on the line every day, and this is the thanks I get. All this over a late steak and a crying black manager. The room went dead silent. His own union reps buried their faces in their hands. A reporter whispered, he just hung himself. Then something I'll never forget, the doors swung open and Governor Whitfield walked in navy suit, sharp as a blade. She didn't say a word, just put a hand on my shoulder as she sat behind me. The cameras went wild. You could feel the tension crackle. The judge banged his gavel. This court will not be a political spectacle, but it already was. Verdict day. My hands shook under the table, but my spine stayed straight. Judge Briggs read out, guilty of racist misconduct, abuse of power, destruction of property. Ordered to resign from the force, barred from law enforcement damages, to Marlowe House, and to me personally, referral to federal civil rights prosecutors. The courtroom erupted, cheers, applause, a few angry shouts from McCord's die-hard defenders. McCord himself went pale, then started yelling, "You're all a joke. I'm a cop. You owe me respect." Guards dragged him out as his words echoed like a bad ghost. I didn't pump my fist. I didn't smile. I just felt this heavy wave lift off me, not victory, more like relief. The governor stepped up to the microphones, eyes steady, voice strong. Today, justice was served, she said, but this is not an isolated incident. We will push for reform so that no one has to go through what Malik went through. Outside, the crowd roared. Some held up signs with my name. Others argued back, support the police. The city felt split wide open, like it had to choose which future it wanted. But in that moment, for once, the system had sided with the person who'd always been told to stay quiet. I went back to Marlowe House a week later. The broken table had been replaced with an even finer one, but when I ran my hand over the smooth surface, I could still feel the crack. My dad's words echoed again. Dignity can't be broken if you hold it. That night after closing, I sat alone in the empty dining room. Chandeliers dimmed, the smell of polish and wine lingering in the air. I opened my phone. Hundreds of messages from strangers, some saying thank you, some sharing their own stories. One young black line cook wrote, "You showed me we don't have to swallow it forever." I closed my eyes and let the tears come. I'm still running Marlowe House, still straightening napkins and coaching servers, but something's changed. Now when I walk between the tables, I don't just see crystal glasses. I see a reminder. Power isn't always where you think it is, and courage can come from the quietest corner of the room. If you've stuck with me to the end of this story, thank you. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think was justice served? Have you ever seen someone abuse power like that and get away with it? Or maybe you've been on the other side waiting for someone to speak up. Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this with a friend, subscribe. If you believe stories like this need to be told, the table might break, but dignity, if we hold it tight, will always stand.